Okay, I recently tried to start a channel called Ethically Speaking, but I came to the realization that you can't just start 100 channels and then, you know, do that all the time. You can't just, have a ton of channels and, make that work. But, so I kept my other channel that I made. I kept Aesthetically Speaking because that's totally to me aesthetics seems different than other philosophy. But here I'm gonna put epistemology, metaphysics, as well as ethics here. So pretty soon I'm gonna start talking a lot about ethics here. Mostly because I'm gonna start going from various normative ethical theories, and then I'm gonna go from there. But I've been touching on a few specific subjects about that are important to ethics that are not exactly theories, but they are important in that they matter to theories. So, like recently, I discussed something about if emotions matter to anything or to ethics at all, or if that matters. And then but right now what I want to discuss is I want to talk about agents. An agent in ethics is you, me, the person who's involved, the subject. So, therefore, you get a big, huge issue in ethics is whether a moral code or an ethical theory should be agent relative or agent neutral, which agent neutral means that that you can have a ethical theory that does not matter, that can be applied, regardless of the circumstances of the agent. Agent relativity. Agent neutrality just means that this can be applied without having to involve anything about the agent. For example, consequentialism is a theory of value which says that the good is maximization of the good, or the good is good outcomes and good consequences, which means that you should try to maximize the good by getting the most outcome from the things that you do. This can be applied to anybody. There's varieties of this in hedonist utilitarianism. There's varieties. There's egoism. There's varieties of this consequentialism, which I'm going to really go into later, with respect to John Stuart Mill and G.E. Moore, Jeremy Bentham, and people like that. Just because that's going to be interesting, I think. But those are agent neutral because you don't have to involve facts about the agent to apply a certain theory. Just like deontology is the same way. But on the other hand, you have agent relativity, which means that you end up involving facts about the agent to apply a certain theory, such as ethics of care. I've talked about ethics of care in feminist ethics because of emotions. Ethics of care, or relational ethics, or ethics of love, is where you have one aspect of it is that you have special relationships. You have relationships such as if you have a child, or if you have relatives. You have specifically a child is one good example. You have a responsibility to take care of them. That's one responsibility, because you have duty in your special relationships, such as a mother would have partiality to her child before she would have to help the rest of the world. That is agent relativity, which brings me to wonder, in the forming of a moral code or an ethical theory, should something be agent neutral or should it be agent relative? Because I think, when you think about Kant, even in his formulation of a universal law, which I have talked about, I know I have, that involves no agent relative facts. So, and I think that's awesome. I love Kant's form. I love Kant's categorical imperative, just because that's perfect. I think. I mean, there's things that should be added to it, yes, but So, what do you guys think? Do you think that in the formulation of a normative ethical theory, do you think that it should be agent relative or agent neutral? My personal feeling about that is that it should be agent neutral, but I will acknowledge the fact that effective moral codes can be formulated and applied that are in fact agent relative. But I think I do like the idea of an agent neutral moral code. But what do you guys think? Let me know.